Hello, General Washington here with a playthrough of the new content that was added. That said, I have not played any of it yet, so I may struggle in parts of the episode.
It's a pleasure to be acquainted. I'm Vakel Sean, captain of the USS Belfast. Admiral Quinn has recommended we team up for a high-priority mission, and truth be told, I'd welcome the support. We've been tasked with overseeing a diplomatic meeting between the Federation and the Klingon Empire. President Okeg has managed to arrange ceasefire negotiations on Kittimer, but the situation is delicate. The war with the Klingons has been ongoing for half a decade, and things have only escalated after the Undine infiltration. Still, this could be our one small chance to turn things around. Our job? Protect the President's delegation on board Starfleet 1 and safely escort them. I'll be waiting for you in the Kittimer system. Captain Cogran, a capable warrior, and our Imperial liaison will be meeting us there. By combining our strengths, we're sure to boldly go where no one has gone before.
is President Okeg aboard Starfleet 1. Remember, this conference is vital to the future of the galaxy.
Captain Sean here. Copy that, Mr. President. Best foot forwards at all times. The crew of the Belfast has been briefed.
Captain Kargren, Klingon Empire Liaison to Anik Okeg, standing by. President, the IKS Nima is ready to escort you.
Good to see you, and right on time, as expected of a true Starfleet officer. Sometimes that makes all the difference. We need to get the President's ship, Starfleet 1, within transporter range of the coordinates provided by the Klingons, and get the all-clear to beam down to Kittimer. I'll be assigned to the President once we arrive, and you'll be securing the premises. Speaking of, let me introduce you to my Chief of Security, Lieutenant Paris. She's a damn fine officer, and a quarter Klingon, too. Not unhelpful when it comes to building relations.
Miral Paris, Chief of Security of the USS Belfast, but Lieutenant will do. Nice to meet you. I get the feeling we'll make an excellent team. Ready to get to work when you are.
I hope you don't mind me checking in along the way. This meeting is delicate, and I'd like to make sure everyone is prepared.
Glad to have you with us, Mr. President. Any words of wisdom before we arrive?
Kittimer is a key location in the history of our two civilizations, and home to many important meetings.
This planet hosted the Kittimer Conference of 2293, if I'm not mistaken.
Conspiracies aside, the final outcome was historic, and its gift of peace lasted for generations.
Let's hope for a similar outcome today. Your attendance is as much of a security risk as it is a show of goodwill.
Lieutenant.
It is up to the Federation to take this first critical step. We cannot allow a repeat of Cestus 3.
Sir, sensors are picking up several Gorn vessels in the area. It's an ambush.
Rebel go!
This is Okeg. Starfleet 1 is under fire. Shields won't hold for long.
Hang tight, Mr. President. We won't let you down. Starfleet 1, this is the USS Belfast. What's your status? President Okeg, do you copy?
USS Belfast, IKS Nema. This is the President. We're all right. Just a bit shaken up.
Mr. President, we need to postpone this conference. It's much too great of a risk for you to take. Our scan should have picked up on that ambush.
Postponing this conference is not an option, Captain Sean. This ceasefire deal could be the Federation's only chance to eventually make peace with the Klingon Empire. If that involves some degree of risk, then so be it. The members of my delegation joined this mission informed and ready for the task. However, this attack does beg a question. How exactly did the Gorn hide from our sensors?
The Belfast and the IKS Nema have sustained minor damage as well. Most of the Gorn attacks were directed at Starfleet 1, and presumably President Okeg. However, aside from a few fluctuations in deflector harmonics and a brief spike in secondary EPS flow regulators, nothing approaches critical thresholds. The President's ship is holding up fine, all things considered. The Belfast will run a scan as well. Something does feel off. Activating long-range sensors and tachyon detection grid. Sensors are clear, sir. No threats detected, masked or otherwise.
Let's resume course before that changes.
Attacking Klingons is one thing, but the Federation? I find the circumstances of this Gorn ambush a little odd.
I agree. The Gorn should have challenged my vessel instead, and fought against one of their Klingon conquerors. Cowards.
The Gorn shouldn't have been able to close in on Starfleet 1. We need to improve our response time.
President Okeg, the Klingon Empire acknowledges the arrival of your delegation to Kittimer. Our orbital defense post received reports of a rebel strike within the system, but readings were delayed due to the Gorn's chronoton masking fields. Still, your survival in the face of this unexpected obstacle bodes well. Perhaps you are worthy allies after all. You are clear to beam down.
The Federation is honored to be received on Kittimer. I can assure you that your openness to meeting with us is not misplaced. Our delegation's security escort dealt with the Gorn attack swiftly, thanks to the combined efforts of our respective captains. We will be beaming down shortly. Captains, when you're ready.
Once you've made it planetside, Lieutenant Paris will brief you on security measures. Remember, stay sharp. Confidence is key, but so is efficiency. History tends to repeat itself, and with Kittimer, that could be a problem. I'll meet you on the ground, and whatever comes, meet it head on. There's no time to second guess.
Miral, or should I say, Lieutenant Paris.
Doctor, I've missed you. You haven't aged a day.
Well, I am afraid that's how it works. But if it would put you at ease, I can add an aging subroutine to my matrix.
Not on my behalf. You're perfect, just the way you are. Are you part of the President's delegation?
That's right, as the leading expert on species 8472. President Okeg is hoping that sharing our research with the Klingons will make up for our dismissal of the Undine threat. This, and a ceasefire deal, will hopefully lead to lasting peace between our people.
The Doctor pioneered research on the Undine aboard Voyager. It was considered revolutionary, both then and now. It is a pleasure to meet you, especially after your crew's incredible performance in the Kittimer system. I will let you get on with your security tasks and prepare for the conference. Doctor?
Good to finally meet you in person. Admiral Quinn's told me quite a lot about you. All good things, of course. Lieutenant Paris can give you a more detailed brief, but suffice it to say, we're looking to secure the whole premises. Make sure nothing's been tampered with. Yeah. I've been approved for duty, of course, but it's all very fresh on my end. Life dealt me some of the worst cards you can get, and now Starfleet keeps me sane. I'm glad some of us made it out there and back. I'm sure you gave a lot of people a fighting chance. That's admirable. I only wish I had been around to help out or make a difference.
It's nice to put a real face to the name. We need to secure the building. I recommend starting with the courtyard in the next room. Oh, and keep in mind, we're in a melting pot of different cultures and delegations right now, but let's try to stay focused and keep our distance.
Ah, hold it right there. Just a moment. Greetings. I am the Emergency Medical Hologram Mark I, but you may call me Doctor. A pleasure to meet you, I am sure. If I may offer a recommendation, while I doubt you will encounter any Undine infiltrators here, you may still find my latest research quite riveting, should you wish to test it out. Here is a parameter you may use to optimize your tricorder for species 8472 biosignature detection. The science behind it is nothing short of remarkable. The settings account for polyfluidic.
I'll follow your lead.
The importance of today's conference cannot be overstated. I am grateful for your assistance in orbit. Please, pass my thanks to your crew. The Gorn attack initially appeared to be an attempt at disrupting our conference and taking out Starfleet 1. However, I believe intelligence has details that might contradict this assumption. I am hoping the Klingons will see the value in a ceasefire agreement. I'm no stranger to finding common ground with my adversaries. After I succeeded President Nanyeta Bako, I offered my political opponents seats in my cabinet. As the saying goes, it takes a quadrant to raise a coalition.
Ambassador Jiro Sugihara of the Federation Diplomatic Corps. I have to admit that the Klingons were right about the Undine infiltration of the Gorn hegemony, but I don't agree with the war they waged. Diplomacy and peaceful negotiation should come first, always. Anyway, I've been told I should keep my opinions to myself, and even more so if we manage to broker peace. Always looking for trouble, Jiro, even on what could be a pivotal day for our people, you glommer.
Starfleet intelligence conducted a preliminary sweep of Khitomer some weeks ago. Klingon public opinion of the Federation is not favorable. However, they also seem to find no glory in the current stalemate. It looks like they're a little worse for wear after their interactions with the Undine, even if they won't let on. We can also safely rule out any conspiracies. Our intel suggests the rebel Gorn ambush that occurred in the system a short while ago had nothing to do with the Klingon Empire and everything to do with targeting the Federation. This is an ongoing investigation. Well, while there are no Admiral Cartwrights in the crowd today, we have identified a person of interest. A Klingon by the name of Bavat will be in attendance. He's a contentious figure with a Federation criminal record. We can't forbid his house from attending, as we're on Klingon ground, but we'll be watching him.
A Starfleet officer receiving classified information from the Klingon intelligence? Which, pooh! I suppose you'd have me sharpen your bat'leth too. I suggest you focus on your task.
All right, let's start with this area.
A Klingon in a Starfleet uniform? Just bah!
Pitiful. Scans are clear. It seems these Klingons have taken note of my appearance. I've never hidden my hybrid nature, as my godfather, the Doctor, encouraged me to be proud of this part of myself and taught me the meaning of self-worth. But truth be told, I'd rather be back on the Belfast right now. I'm chief of security, not a diplomat or an envoy. Still, if my being here helps prove that the Federation and the Klingons can coexist, then all of this will be worthwhile. Leave no stone unturned.
Another rebel attack in Klingon space.
Reprehensible.
King Slathis does not assent to these renegade acts.
No threats detected. If the Gorn delegation is telling the truth, then the ambush we just thwarted was a rebel attack, and not a revolt instigated by the Gorn hegemony. Still, it seemed very coordinated. Running another scan.
I am Ambassador Koss of the Klingon Empire. I wish to meet with the Kuvah-Mach.
Ah, the Kuvah-Mach is an ancient myth. Paris is an impostor, a traitor to her people.
Peace with the Federation. Creator vo narde krapu.
Done. We can check this room off our list. Quite a few opinions floating around today, huh? I say we speed things up and move on to the next room. Fine. You're right. You might know this already, but there's an ancient Klingon religious text that describes the Kuvah-Mach, or Savior, as a figure that will restore the Klingon Empire back to its original glory. Many Klingons believe me to be this Kuvah-Mach because of the events that occurred in the Delta Quadrant aboard Voyager. My genetic material played a part in helping a group of Klingons. I'm happy to answer any questions about that if you think it's beneficial to our mission. What do you want to know? The prophecy foretells the arrival of a messianic savior, Kuvah-Mach. It is said that this figure is stronger than sickness itself and destined to heal the Klingon people, leading them to glory. Some even say the Klingons will know the Kuvah-Mach before the Kuvah-Mach themselves know the world. A spiritual recognition, if you will. What do you want to know? Whereas some Klingons are devoted to the Kuvah-Mach, others disbelieve the figure's existence. Some even treat these religious texts as unworthy epics or conspiracy theories. Either way, I'm caught in the middle of a divided empire when all I ever wanted was to make the universe a better, more tolerant place. What do you want to know? I was born aboard the USS Voyager, and as I said earlier, the Doctor is my godfather. In 2377, Voyager encountered a group of Klingon pilgrims aboard a D7-class battlecruiser. They were looking for the Kuvah-Mach because they were dying from a virus called the Nechret, which they originally believed to be nothing but old age. In order to save them, the Doctor resorted to using my genetic material to create a cure. Miraculously, it worked. And thus, I became the Kuvah-Mach. What do you want to know? Preparing to scan.
What weight could a conference possibly hold without the attendance of Jempok? Ha!
Yedokko! Walden is here in his stead. Now is not the time for dissent.
I'm detecting false alarm. Just some residual readings. Tricorder ready.
We're all set, my good sir.
I will hold you accountable if this fails. There can be no deviation from the plan. Goldsmith.
Of course. I will not disappoint. We have an agreement after all. Let's disperse.
Cogran, it is simple, I assure you. Undine biology is adaptive, with a morphogenic cellular structure.
I am no scientist, but I do not dispute the utility of weaponry meant to identify and eradicate the Undine.
It's unfortunate we still know so little about them, despite the doctor's research.
Ah, morale. Your disposition suggests that there were no polyfluidic phase variances to report.
That's correct. No Undine infiltrators, Doctor. But we did find something else. Captain Sean, Captain Cogran, we've discovered an unidentified device in the Hall of Heroes. Its origin cannot be traced and its functionalities are unknown. It doesn't appear to pose an immediate threat, but we can't be sure. Will you work on disabling the device while I transmit our findings to the rest of the team?
Good idea. That device is cause for concern. Even if it turns out to be harmless, we can't afford to take any chances. Let's confer with President Okeg.
I agree. This poses a considerable security risk. However, I'm too optimistic about the turnout of this conference to delay our diplomatic efforts any further. We need to honor our agreement with the Klingons. They will not respect any act that might be interpreted as a display of cowardice. We must stay the course. If Captain Cogran is not opposed, then I propose we beam the device to the USS Belfast for further analysis.
Setting up a containment field, and done. Ready for transport. USS Belfast, this is Lieutenant Paris. We are beaming up an unidentifiable device for analysis. Stand by.
The conference will begin shortly. All attendees must gather in the Hall of Heroes, immediately.
Fellow delegations, the Federation is here today to seek peace with the Empire, in the hopes that it will be long-lasting. We believe we have been at odds for too long, and hope to prove today that our worth as allies is greater than our worth as foes. As a first act, we propose a ceasefire, then allying against a common enemy, the Undine. I have with me an expert who will share...
All this talk and no action! Why trust you, Okeg? Your Federation has already proven it does not respect the Empire! In the case of the Undine imposters in the Gorn hegemony, the Klingons were right all along, yet you failed to heed us.
You are right, and I know that Federation and Empire relations have often been tense, that our history is riddled with mistrust, that you believe we failed you on the topic of the infiltrators in the Gorn hegemony, and that our ways have been human-centric. But like Chancellor Gorkon, this Saurian too believes in the undiscovered country, and has read Shakespeare in the original Klingon. We'd like to start by sharing our classified research with you on the Undine, as a gesture of good faith. Doctor?
Greetings. You may call me the Doctor. It is an honor to speak to such a fine audience. I will be handing out data pads after our speech, so do stick around should you wish to discuss the details. As you all undoubtedly know, with great scientific advancement comes great responsibility. While ethics are not on the agenda, I am obliged to mention the dangers of the technology we have developed and the risk it poses to non-Undine life forms.
The Belfast is transmitting the results of the analysis performed on the unidentified device. It seems it's...
But I digress. To the crux of the matter, I have created technology that pairs modified tricorders with experimental nanoprobes. The tricorders, while still a prototype, detect the presence of Undine biosignatures. The nanoprobes are then... pardon me. My matrix.
Captain Sean, that device disrupts holo-emitter signals. Doctor!
Hegemony! We curse the Empire!
Captain! They've taken the Doctor!
Morale, look out!
Thanks. We need to take down these Gorn and retrieve the Doctor. Now!
Belfast, this is Sean. Kittimer Conference is under attack. Monitor all activity in orbit. No one leaves.
I knew I should have brought some fire along.
warriors have identified additional rebel Gorn on the ground. It won't be long before they reach our location. As for Bavat, the Petach has conveniently beamed up to his vessel. He must have had allies on the inside. Klingons willing to look the other way and smuggle in his devices. Or perhaps this is another conspiracy.
I assure you the Federation has nothing to do with this, Captain Cogran. I can't say the same for Bavat, though. The Belfast has managed to lock onto his ship with a tractor beam, but I'm not sure how long it'll hold. Our scans show the Doctor is aboard, so we'll need to be careful.
I'm coming with you. We need to retrieve the Doctor. That's non-negotiable.
All right, but I know you well, Moral. Get back in one piece, and no unnecessary risks. That's also non-negotiable. Understood? Cogran and I will stay behind to deal with the Gorn and evacuate the delegations. Belfast, this is Captain Sean. Beam the lieutenant directly to the bridge. Paris, you've got the con. Stay safe.
This is Lieutenant Paris aboard the Belfast. We have a lock on Bavat's ship, the IKS Warvig. Recommend we hail them together before we take any drastic measures. Diplomacy first.
Nooch, you dare not fight a real Klingon, one of prowess and might? I suppose your hail is meant to initiate some sort of negotiation. Which, I do not negotiate with those who would see the Klingon Empire become docile and prevent its path towards true glory. Request denied. It would be a shame to return your doctor so soon. Extracting him from Khitomer was child's play. Fascinating what can be achieved when the Empire is so divided and unfocused. But Klingons never shy away from a challenge. Let the Kuvarmach retrieve him herself and prove she has the heart of a true warrior.
My heart is just fine, Bavat. I wish we could say the same for you, you mahwi. The Klingon Empire agreed to convene on the Federation's ceasefire proposal. It is you who is in violation of the agreement, and in direct disobedience of the High Council. They should have you discommended, you pet. Bavat has escaped with the Doctor. Belfast is tracking his ship's ion signal. Time to show these Give it all you got. Receiving a hail from the Khitomer. I'm opening a multi-channel.
Belfast, this is Captain Sean. The situation is under control on Khitomer. We found a second device on stage attached to the podium and neutralized it. The device has the ability to disrupt photonic emissions and store holographic data, like a capsule. What's your status? Have you retrieved the Doctor?
I missed a device, but we scanned the entire area. How is that possible? I increased my tricorder sensor aperture. I ran a multispectral sweep. I even enhanced subspace resolution and set up a level 3 perimeter scan. I should have set up a level 4 scan. This is my fault.
Steady, Lieutenant. The first device was no doubt a red herring planted in the room to distract us from the second, which in turn was shielded from our sensors by an experimental chronoton-charged cloaking field. That second device was ever so slightly displaced in time. Your tricorder couldn't have picked up on it. It took a whole group of scientists from several different delegations to come to that same conclusion.
Captain, we need to go after the doctor. The Belfast is tracking Bavat's warp signature, ion trail, and projected course. I've got all the data I need.
What the Belfast needs to do is remain stationed in orbit of Kittimer while President Okeg meets with the Klingon High Council. This attack has led to some very tense exchanges and great mistrust in the Federation and Gorn delegations. Going after the doctor is too risky. We'll need to send our data over to an experienced strike team and let them handle it.
I agree. Besides, the doctor is not only one of the most brilliant minds in Starfleet, but he's also my godfather. He's family, Captain.
I can't argue with that. But for that same reason, I'll need you back in one piece after your mission. I can't lose you too, Lieutenant. The Belfast has to remain to supervise the situation on Kittimer and escort Starfleet 1 back to Federation space. I hope I'm not making a mistake by staying behind. But duty calls. Good luck, and take care.
1 to beam over. Quite the fine ship you have. Here's the data the Belfast retrieved during our encounter with the Klingons. We've tracked the Warvig to the Hatoria system. We've arrived, and in enemy territory, no less. Sensors are picking up on multiple vessels in the area. Klingon patrol ships. Planetary archives also show Hatoria is home to a large nebula and an abandoned facility on the ground. I'm guessing that's where Bavat is holding the doctor. We can either use the nebula's ionized gas to scatter our ship signal and travel at low impulse to conceal our movements till we reach transporter range, or we can go in guns blazing and risk alerting the Klingons on the ground. Your call. Recommend we travel at low velocity. 1/4 impulse should do the trick. We've reached the halfway mark. Hang in there, Doctor. We're coming for you. All right, we're nearing the target coordinates. Time to prepare a team. We're almost within transporter range of Hattoria. Let's move on. We're almost within transporter range of Hattoria. Let's move on. We're almost within transporter range of Hattoria. Let's move on. We're almost within transporter range of Hattoria. I don't think the Klingons have detected us yet. Still, we better bring some backup. Ready to beam down when you are.
As I was saying, the nanoprobes developed to counter the Undine are Wait a minute. Where am I?
Bajach Emelv, you fool! Sing, the data! Is it ready?
Soon, Bavat. I am extracting the genetic information from the doctor's holomatrix. It'll take some time to bypass his security subroutines.
You know, in some cultures, it is considered ill-mannered to interrupt a sentient life form, especially a brilliant physician. If you're interested, my research paper, The Art of Turn-Taking, a Study on Conversational Analysis in Delta Quadrant Species, has...
Hold your tongue, you insufferable projection of wasted photons!
According to the Federation's archives, this facility used to be a penal colony and still houses functional security systems to this day. Speaking of, I'm picking up on a photonic signal that matches the doctor's holosignature, but it's faint. My guess is he's being held in one of the facility's lower levels. Stay alert. We don't know what Bavat has in store for us. I'll cover you. Lead the way.
Unlock your security protocols and give me the data, Patach!
Ambassador Bavat, this is absolutely ludicrous behavior, and very dishonorable, I'll have you know. I refuse to be probed any further. If you have developed a passion for genetics, then I encourage you to conduct your own research. I am sure you will find the funding.
Singh, increase the hologram sensitivity calibrations and bypass safety protocols.
That hurt! This is not how one treats a guest in their repurposed prison. Well, perhaps it is.
They're hurting him. I'm sending out an electromagnetic pulse to disrupt that console. It'll buy us some time. By tampering with the doctor's sensitivity calibrations, Bavat and Singh are making sure that he feels pain the way a biological life form would. Effectively, they're torturing him. I know Captain Sean said not to take risks, but I'm not sure we've got much of a choice. We need to think of something fast. Not a bad plan. We'll investigate the facility as we head towards the doctor's coordinates. But let's do this quickly. I can't let this go on for much longer. Before you go any further, let's talk about the facility's security sweeps. Some areas of the facility are being scanned periodically by security consoles. Unapproved life forms that come into contact with the scans will likely trigger an alarm, alerting nearby enemies or heightening security protocols. We should avoid detection if possible, and find a way to deactivate the scanners. Heads up. The area ahead of us is being scanned. My scans are picking up on low-level electromagnetic signals coming from beyond that sweep. Now, what do we have in here? Consoles running on residual power.
Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log, File 13. My first experiment proved unsuccessful. A disappointment. The host biology is highly aggressive at the cellular level and rejecting genetic input. I will adapt my experiments to suppress any existing dominant cells going forward. Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log, File 14. Results are now beginning to show promise, but I fear I might have overcompensated. Rapid mutation has led to instability in the subject genome. To counter this, I plan to create an epigenetic framework with the purpose of culling damaged cells. If we lose a few test subjects in the process, so be it. Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log, File 19. After careful calculations, I have achieved my first breakthrough. Whereas some subjects were unable to withstand further testing, others are now thriving. In particular, subject GU-75 has impressed Bhavat.
They're experimenting on people.
The primary focus of the project is gerontology, the study of aging in various life forms. The Federation Science Council has given me permission to test various forms of genetic modification to find treatments of degenerative diseases such as Irumodic syndrome. We're making significant progress.
Yes. How did Bhavat and Singh get their hands on proprietary Federation logs? We can't let them keep this data. We need to destroy it.
It is not a proud moment in Earth's history either. Khan was the greatest of the augmented conquerors in the eugenics wars. He was the ruler of more than a quarter of Earth, and he treated those he ruled like slaves. Unlike some of the other so-called genetic supermen, Khan only enslaved his people rather than massacre them. Some consider him to be the best of the tyrants. A dubious honor, to be sure. Augments like Khan, Noonien and Singh caused the death of millions. When the people rose up against the augment tyrants, Khan and some of his people escaped into space on a sleeper ship. I suspect you heard a lot about Khan's clashes with Captain Kirk at Starfleet Academy. I remember running the Mutara Nebula simulator in my senior year there. It was a singular experience.
I'm all for eradicating degenerative diseases, but not if it means another eugenics war or the creation of genetically engineered slaves. Singh's plan seems to align more with the latter and not with the Federation's work. My guess is they copied our research, but not our motivations. Looks like a security sweep can be deactivated from that console. Security functionality deactivated. Let's move on. I'm detecting life signs in the room ahead.
Klingon Mach, Grethor's gates stand ready to welcome you.
A Bavat welcoming committee. That's too kind. Remind me to thank him later with phaser fire. All of them. Let's look around for anything that might help us.
Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log File 22. Subject GU-75's DNA has begun to deteriorate after a couple of cycles. All attempts to stabilize the specimen's genetic sequence using molecular templating have failed. I will keep trying. Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log File 28. This will be my last entry on subject GU-75. Was begun to exhibit irrational and aggressive behavioral patterns. The specimen's enhanced strength make it difficult to control. Even the Klingon guard struggle to keep it subdued for testing. I will begin processing GU-75 for termination.
Doctor's Log Supplemental Stardate 86324.7. In preparation for the Kittimer Ceasefire Conference, I have been reviewing the Undine research stored in my holomatrix. One study from Stardate 51003.7 focuses in particular on the reprogramming of Borg collective nanoprobes for the purpose of destabilizing species 8472's cell structure, thereby neutralizing them. It appears that Seven and I pioneered research on species 8472, and that the Federation was the first and so far only alliance of people able to thwart the Undine. My hope is that we will soon be able to share this research with trusted allies.
I don't think Singh and Bhavat are acting on behalf of the Klingon Empire. They must be acting independently. Looks like we can deactivate a security sweep from in here. This room is clear. Another security sweep. We should check this room. Some of these consoles are still active. No doctor in here, but maybe we'll find something that can help us.
Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log File 31. In the wake of Subject GU-75's termination, a new favorite has arisen amongst the augmented ranks. Subject GU-78 is strong, reliable, and obedient, despite the pain it is in. For now.
Doctor's Log Supplemental, Stardate 54518.2. The genetic material retrieved from the unborn Klingon hybrid by the name of Miral Paris, sampled with the consent of her parents, Lieutenants Belano Torres and Tom Paris, has proven a great success. The Klingon pilgrims from the IKS Shan have been cured of their illness. As a result, they now believe that Miral is what they call the Kuva Mach, a legendary Klingon figure who is foretold to heal all Klingons and restore them to their former glory. Quite the legacy to live up to for an unborn child. Morale is doing well. I know that the crew of Voyager will protect her, at least until she comes of age and chooses her own path. I expect there will come a day when the Klingon Empire will inquire about Morale Paris. However, modifying genetic material is a delicate topic, given the historical precedents. The eugenics wars, or the Klingon augment virus, both point toward the possibility of genetic alteration being used for nefarious purposes, such as creating biological weaponry, or even an army.
That must be exactly what Singh and Bhavat have planned, but why? The Klingon Empire already has a capable army. The rest of the log comes as no surprise to me. As I got older, my parents began to share stories from my childhood with me. The tale of the IKS Shan was one of them. You know the drill. That's it. Deactivated. Let's keep moving. Klingon and Gorn life signs up ahead. Prepare for a fight.
You come as a sacrifice,
The only thing I'm sacrificing is my time, you useless rar.
Glory to the Corn, and Bavat the benefactor. All shall fall. This is the price.
These Gorn are too far gone and blinded by Bavat's empty promises.
surrender yourself, or prepare to die with dishonor.
That Gorn looks similar to the ones who disrupted the Kittimer conference. Let's press on. I'm sure the doctor is counting on us. Tricorders are detecting a photonic signature further ahead. Lead the way. There are too many security sweeps in this hallway to evade. We have to keep investigating to deactivate them somehow. This console doesn't appear to deactivate the security sweeps, but I see another one. This appears to be a security console connected to an audio-visual feed.
The exobiology lab is ready, Bhavat. We are only missing the data.
Huicha! How hard can it be to retrieve data from a hologram?
Ambassador, may I remind you that I am the emergency medical hologram Mark I. I served aboard the USS Voyager during
Silence! Do you wish to have your vocal interface deactivated, you insufferable tar? Quiet. Someone is watching.
Miral.
Hello, Kuvach.
Damn it, we've been detected. And he's taunting us. We need to come up with a plan. Quickly. I recognize that tune. It was a song he used to sing to me when I was a child. It was written by Kolar, commander of the IKS Shan and his people. The piece is dedicated to the Kuvachmach. The part the doctor is humming goes, Kuvachmach, follow no longer. Find me when two warring houses have made peace, and as one grows stronger. It's the last stanza, symbolic of the Kuvachmach's agency and their choice to guide the Klingon people, or not. Trap or not, I won't abandon him. There must be something else we can do. Maybe we can deceive Bhavat somehow, get him to tip his hand or release the doctor for a price. That might just work. If they're willing to go to these lengths just to retrieve my genetic material, then surely they'd be willing to negotiate. Some security parameters were shut down when Bhavat cut the feed. Stay sharp. The area ahead is being scanned. We still need to get to the lowest level of the facility. We still need to get to the lowest level of the facility. We've been detected. We need to be more careful. The security sweep is active. Watch where you step. We did it! We're in the clear. Let's move on. This must be the exobiology lab. You know, I minored in biogenetics at Starfleet Academy. Time to put those skills to good use. A sample of human genomic base pairs. A sample of Klingon polynucleotide clusters. This mix might just do the trick, at least for now. Time to enact our plan.
The data has almost been decrypted, Bavat. Soon, we will be able to dispose of the hologram.
Miral, what are you still doing here? I mean, a Klingon hybrid I have never seen before.
Don't worry, Doctor. We're here to break you out.
Lieutenant Miral Paris, or should I say Kuvach Mach, here to take your friend's place? He's kept your seat warm.
Let him go.
And why would I do that?
Because we have what you need. A sample of my DNA. The missing piece to your scientific puzzle. You're creating an army, right?
I am creating a movement. Soon all will pledge their allegiance to the new Klingon Empire and bow before its ruler.
That's only a fantasy without my DNA, Bavat. I'll give you the sample if you release the Doctor.
Miral, I strongly advise you do not.
You're bluffing. Hand it to my assistant, now.
Let the Doctor go first.
Fine. Free the captive, Singh. This is a ruse, a counterfeit. Now, Singh.
Let's see how you fare against my latest experiments.
The Doctor's genetic research will have to do for now. Time is on my side. Can you say the same, Kuvach?
We can't let him escape!
Miral, no! It's too dangerous! I'll go!
I love you, but you've got to trust me. I have to go after him, and you're needed here. You're the galaxy's only hope against the Undine. I don't know where I'm headed, but if I make it, I'll give you a sign. Protect the Doctor. I'll go after Bavat. We'll meet again!
If you handle the fighting, I will search my database for intelligence on the Gorn. Should you require medical assistance, then I will be at your disposal, if you stay alive, that is. I'm a doctor, not a miracle worker. Gorn are ectothermic creatures, and therefore vulnerable to the cold, use your environment. They are also apex predators, with instinct-driven threat responses. Augmentation has driven these Gorn to insanity. Them. Keep it up. It's our only chance to make it out alive. What a fight! I was anxious, even as an onlooker. Well done! We've got an unethical scientist on the loose. Where is Singh? I am registering his biosignature, coming from a nearby transporter room.
This is Singh. IKS Warwick. Come in. Anyone!
Not so fast, Singh. The jig is up.
Fine. But if you think apprehending me will have any effect on my plans with Bhavat, you are deluded. Bhavat has the genetic data he needs to proceed. None of you will be able to change that. Not even the Kuvach Mach. In time, Bhavat will convince her to join his 10,000 augment army. It's the prophecy. All of your ruses are pitiful. Your genetic concoction of Klingon and human DNA did not even pass a visual inspection. Do you think Bhavat and I cannot recognize a vial originating from our own laboratory? Even your holographic doctor must have realized that. But you are too simple-minded to understand our greater scientific plans. Like an insect waiting to be squashed in the palm of a god. Silence! The Kuvach Mach has followed Bhavat as intended, and him and I have a deal. He will lead his army, and I will become a renowned ruler. Unlike the rest of the Noonien Singh lineage who have lost their way, I will become the father of a new generation of augments. You, on the other hand, will rot in Aurora Pinte cell once all of this is over. Bhavat's means transcend time itself.
I've dealt with my fair share of rude scientists during my time aboard Voyager, but Amar Noonien Singh might just take the cake. Now that this area is secure and our culprit has been caught, I wanted to thank you for coming to my rescue. I know our mission isn't over yet. Bhavat is still at large, with morale trailing not far behind, I'm sure. Yes, he did. I suggest we return to where we last saw Bhavat and investigate the area. I'm sure we will find something that will enlighten us on the matter. Besides, it might increase our odds of finding Miral sooner rather than later. Nothing a tricorder scan won't illuminate. Oh my! Your scans reveal the presence of residual chronoton particles. That, my friend, suggests a temporal aperture once existed in this very space. I'm afraid it will be difficult to pinpoint on our own. I suggest you report back to Starfleet for now. I am sure Command will want to hear all about this. I can say Captain Sean will be enthused about Miral's disappearance, and I do feel somewhat responsible for that. I'll break the news to him when we return, but I expect he will contact you later. We'll be counting on you to find her.
My army promises glory to the Empire and its great houses. A new dawn, a new era for the worthy warrior. Together, we will finally become an empire worthy of Kalesh. We will wipe out the Federation and conquer their people once and for all. Kaplan!
Klingon! Klingon! Klingon!
Bhavat!
Where am I?
I wish I could say our mission was a total success, but my chief of security is unaccounted for, and the conference hasn't unfolded as President Okeg had hoped. Bavat is still out there somewhere. But there's still a glimmer of hope in all of this. Somehow, Captain Cogran has convinced the High Council to consider the ceasefire. What's more, Starfleet Intelligence has asked me to relay an unusual message. Apparently, they received an encrypted transmission from Lieutenant Paris, addressed to you. The stardate attributed to it is unexpected. Even so, you have my thanks for retrieving the Doctor, and for bringing Amar Noonien Singh to justice. I'm putting my faith in you. Track down Bavat to ensure he answers for his crimes, and bring Maral home.
This is Rear Admiral Felicia Harrington of Starfleet's Deep Space Operations Command. We have received reports of a disabled starship adrift in your system. Subspace interference has made it impossible to detect any life signs aboard the vessel. Proceed carefully while moving in for inspection. The disabled starship is back online and activating its weapon systems. All hostile forces have been taken down. The area is secure. Scans are clear. The system has been secured for now. Thank you for your... This is Rear Admiral Felicia Harrington of Starfleet's Deep Space Operations Command. My outpost team has detected a faint anomalous signal near your location. Its energy readings are unstable, suggesting a spatial disturbance. However, preliminary scans do not match any known phenomena logged in Federation archives. Further investigation is required. We could use your assistance. This is Harrington. We've detected an ambush. Hostile forces incoming. Stay sharp. The area is clear. Proceed with caution and scan the anomaly. commands are clear. The system has been secured for now. Thank you for your help. This is Rear Admiral Felicia Harrington of Starfleet's Deep Space Operations Command. The station in this system has been attacked. Their personnel requires assistance immediately. You made it just in time. This station's defense turrets were damaged in a recent incursion. Long-range subspace sensors also confirm that another group of enemy ships is swiftly approaching. We'll need you to repair those turrets before hostile forces arrive. It's crucial to the survival of the station and its personnel. You have limited time to repair beam turrets. Enemy ships are inbound. Beam turrets have been repaired. Hostile ships incoming. You don't have long to repair cannon turrets. Hostile forces incoming in moments. Repair those torpedo turrets.
Target's shields have failed.
All torpedo turrets
The station
wouldn't
online.
have stood a chance without you. Thank you for your help. We'll take it from here. Scans are clear. The system has been secured for now. Thank you for your help.
Doublewood Lita is a licensed product of Quark Enterprises. Miss Rom.
Remember, if you enjoy the content, please subscribe, hit the bell, like and share.